Ooh. M4 playtime, I think. Engine's warm. I win. Hey guys, hope you're all well. Bringing you another video, this time something a little bit different than the snow because we don't get snow that often obviously. We're just off to go and see my friend Tani now. We're going to go and get the oil changed. We're going to try to do the gearbox oil, we're going to do the engine oil and the oil filter. Spark plugs we're not going to do today just because we haven't got the tool, but we're going to get those done. A couple of little bits have been sorted since the last video in the snow. So I've had to tape the boost gauge because it's honestly like bright as shit at night and you just can't see where you're going at all. It like flares up, it's all over here and it's blue all up on the ceiling and everything, it's way too bright. So I've got rid of that. And also I was having a boost issue where the car wouldn't hold boost. So I'd be driving along 70 miles an hour on the motorway and all of a sudden it would be like you let your foot off the accelerator, you'd just hear that noise and then the boost gauge would sit at 0 psi and there was obviously no turbo, you wouldn't spool up or anything like that. Only way to sort it was turn the engine off and on again. So I went and had a look, engine management light came on. It had been doing this for a little while but only when sort of pushing the car quite hard, but this is, you know, 70 miles an hour on the motorway just sitting in fifth and it was doing it. So that was a bit strange. Anyway, I went and had a look. I thought it might be the recirc valve, but it wasn't that. Didn't check the wastegate, but I was looking at the boost regulator valve down by the radiator, and one of the hoses had completely split in two. So I cut that. We put it back over its little like metal nib that it came out of, and just triple cable tied it down so that it's super tight and it's not going anywhere. And that's removed the engine management light. It's running better, but it's still not pulling as hard as it should. We get some new spark plugs, new oils in there, ready for the dyno and everything. Just hope that it runs a little bit better because it's overdue its oil change. I wanted to do it every 5,000 miles or so, but it's been about 15,000 I think since it was last done, or maybe a little bit more. But we're just going to head down to Tani's now and get that changed, so we'll see you there. So our plan is, I should probably go somewhere into the shade, but our plan is to get the car up on the ramp quickly, let it cool down, drain the oil, we'll swap the wheels all over and rotate them so that the front goes on the back, and check the brakes and everything, and just have a little bit of a nosy. So did you look at that, eh? Pro filming. First oil change on the car for me on this one. Did my old Hyundai Getz, but don't think that was really worth even changing the oil on. So we're going to get this done. I think I've said it about 1,000,000 times now that we're doing... that oil change work. Eh? I remember that oil change work. Yeah. Because you left the oil loose. Yeah, that was good fun. But yeah, we'll do it properly on here and... yeah, where's my oil going? Oh yeah, out the car. But yeah, we'll crack on with it, be good fun. So this flexi is absolutely ruined. Well, obviously it's just so that there's a bit of movement in there, but that's absolutely mullered. This has already been replaced with straight pipe, and then new back box needed. I mean, it's blowing like, well not blowing, but vibrating like mad. It's definitely ruined somewhere, isn't it? In there, but yes, we'll get it sorted. Oil is draining very nicely into there. I don't know if you want to show them what happened to me. I'm not a mechanic. Didn't go so well. I dropped the bolt in there. It has splashed everything. I mean, it's just as well I'm wearing crap clothes, but the shoes are gone. The floor, it looks like someone's been bleeding black blood. So the last few drips Didn't actually take that long, the other car took way longer. Last drips are going to come out now. Why Big Bertha, Tani? Tani, tell me, why Big Bertha?
She's a bad bitch.
Big Bertha the bad bitch is coming to play with Pablo the Punturbo. Look at those wheels, they're so nice. Bet everyone wishes they could have something like that. We're zooming in back and halfway through the whole oil process. We've just got to get the oil filter off, let that drain out, replace it, and then put the new oil in. As I said a minute ago, we're gonna get all the wheels swapped over. We're gonna check the brakes and stuff. Do you mind? And then Big Bertha the bad bitch is coming to play, so we can get all the wheel nuts off and whatever real quickly. So we're just working on taking the oil filter off, which I'll show you now. Is a bit of a pig just because of the angle. There we go. Basically we've got to get that off, but if you look here, we've got all of the hoses and the pipes that are right in the way, so we've had to try a few different ratchets, but that's getting there, so that's always good. We need to chop that cable tie for the boost regulator valve, just so we can pull everything out of the way. There we go. And the hose I was telling you guys about earlier on the drive up here, this hose here. So basically it had a clean cut here, which comes right off the boost regulator valve and meant that the car wasn't holding any boost. So we're just getting the oil filter out. Looking lovely, that. I'm going to replace it with this one.
Starts to actually crush itself.
Tasty. And here's the new one that's going on. So we'll get that in there, we'll get that dried up and cleaned out and whatever, and then whack the new one in there. We've got 5W40 engine oil, Drive Tech Pro. And then we've got gear oil. Isn't actually Halford stuff, but because of these little knobble things on the top, it's much easier to just do it in a Halford's bottle. So we've done that. Yeah, brakes are all okay. Discs are a bit rusty around the lip, as you'd sort of expect. But there's nothing we can do about that today without getting new discs and everything. So it's another thing on the list for the summer. So the oil filter's going in, we're getting that nice and tight. Wasn't too bad, we moved a couple of hoses and we got that in. That's as tight as it's going to get by hand. So we had what we thought was the bolt, but it's not.
I'm going fishing.
You're going, oh mate, you're brave. Oh, that's the one. Just, come on camera, you can focus. That's proper grim, isn't it? Yeah. That's proper grim. You guys must be like absolutely hating this, because I'm wary that the camera mic is the one actually recording, and when the camera focuses on its own, it's all you can hear. So when I watched the video back, I don't even know if it got on YouTube yet, but who knows, this is sort of how the channel is. It might go on YouTube, it might not. I will at some point get a microphone or a different camera. I mean, the 70 Mark II is pretty good, but it's big and heavy. It's not really this sort of filming camera. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if it's too loud or what you think of the video, and just sort of let me know if you like this sort of content. It's okay. So we're just going to get the bolt back in, and we'll get the ratchet on there. We'll get that going nice, and we'll get that on there nice and tight, and then we'll torque it up in a little bit. We'll get 2.6 litres of 5W40 in there. Oh, that didn't work. You know what it goes up to? 22 Newton meters. So a bit of a pain. The bolt for what the sump plug is basically helicoiled, so it's been threaded before and helicoiled. We've got it on, not as tight as we'd like, and there's no washer either, but we can't get it off again. It's just spinning around, it's completely threaded, so we'll have to see. If it loses oil, it loses oil, and we'll have to drill it out or whatever, or spend a bit of money on getting it sorted, but hopefully it's not an issue. My gut's telling me it's not an issue, so we should be okay. We'll get the oil in there, we'll see if it pisses out or not, and then we'll do the gearbox oil. So we're trying to get the old plug out, even though it's threaded and stuff. Here we've got an assortment of sump plugs. I think it's going to be this one because it's the same ratchet size, but we'll have to have a look. We'll have to get it out and actually see if it's the same size. This might be really boring, guys, but the way I look at it is that everyone that's into cars is going to go through this at some point. We're not all millionaire YouTubers that can go out and buy Ferraris, take them back to the dealership, sell it the next week for an Audi R8, and they'll be like, nah, I'm bored, I get a Porsche. So, you know, I'm stuck with a 105,000 mile Fiat that we've spent how many hours on fixing and swearing, and there you go. It's a realistic video and a realistic channel on what car ownership's like. I mean, if you get Italian, then just stick your middle finger up, but it's all part of the fun, really, isn't it? So, changing to the GoPro just because it doesn't really matter if it gets gearbox oil on it. I appreciate you probably cannot see this one bit. There we go.
Yeah, it's looking fine.
Yeah, well, yeah. No harm with new one. New one with new oil in there. Should you replace it with water, or? I had a really itchy foot earlier, as Tani saw me, like scratching like a dog. It is so painful right now. This feels really bizarre using a GoPro to film. It feels much more like casual. I might have to do this more often, but I know that this thing's crap at night. Anyway, we've got loads of nice juices in there. Gearbox oil is glugging out, and yeah. Cool. So that's that done. Gearbox oil's changed. We've got to put new engine oil in. Got to pray that that sump bolt doesn't just come flying off or piss oil out everywhere, otherwise it's an expensive bill, I think. Do that, we'll get the wheels back on, we'll get the engine oil in, and we'll hopefully be done, and then we'll do spark plugs another day. From now on, please don't talk. So I thought I'd get a few more little bits filmed up. Don't really know why I'm touching my face, my hands are filthy. But yeah, we are just having a look at the brakes, getting some, was it copper grease?
Yep, and then some hydraulic grease.
Yeah, some greases on there. They literally are rusted on to the car. The other thing, the other thing is, this drive shaft boot is absolutely fine. It stays on, there's no issues, it's not shat its grease everywhere. However, this side, as you can already see, is really greasy. Keeps coming off, so we've put a new clip on. It was cable tied before and didn't work. But yeah, so we've put this back on, and I'm kind of hoping that that will eliminate the knocking noise when I turn left. When I'm sort of like full lock left, there's a really bad knocking noise going gunk gunk gunk. Speed dependent, so I think it's the speed at which the drive shaft boot is spinning, and it's sort of just catching. But touch wood, that'll stay on now. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh honey, though our friendship ceases from now on. If you can't say anything in real mind. So we're on to the last two little bits. We've got to cable tie that boost regulator valve back down, torque up the wheel bolts, give it a bit of a drive home. What else was I going to do? I don't know, but we've changed the oil filter, the oil itself. Sump plug appears to be holding up okay, so we'll hope it stays like that. Gearbox oil, I said we've done. rotated the tyres round and gone through 2 camera batteries and a GoPro battery. And we're on our way home. We've done everything that we planned on doing. So we've done the oil filter, the oil itself. We've done the gearbox oil. We've rotated the wheels. We had a slight problem with the bolts. One of the one of the studs has completely rounded itself off, so the front left wheel only has 3 bolts at the moment, which is why we're taking it pretty easy. They're all torqued up and everything. A few of the back ones are about 5 Newton meters to 10 Newton meters too low, just because they feel like they're going to go. I should be a rapper, shouldn't I? Or a poet. But yeah, so I'm going to see if I can get a replacement stud kit. I just wonder if there wasn't enough Loctite on them, or the use of the air gun and my happy trigger finger was a little bit too much, I don't know. But first impressions are the gearbox feels really light in comparison. It feels much smoother, much freer flowing. The car sounds quieter and just seems to run better, but obviously it's the first sort of couple of miles, so that might change. Doesn't always do it. Those are the first impressions, we'll see how it goes. I'll make a note of when it was all done. But yeah, so big thank you, Tiny.
No worries.
Today. And I'm going to go home and get showered up.